Me from Nowhere is the brand new movie that just hit theaters. The film's co-written and directed by Scott Cooper. Cooper's the director of films like Pale Blue Eye, Antlers, Hostiles, and 2015's Black Mass. This movie, of course, tells the true story of one of the most famous artists of all time, Bruce Springsteen, who in this movie is being played by Jeremy Allen White. The film is about his journey crafting his one of the most famous albums, the 1982 album Nebraska, which includes songs like Born in the USA, as we go through his life, as he suffers through depression, a romantic relationship, and finding a storytelling vision for this album. Jeremy Strong is also in the movie as John Landau, the manager for Bruce Springsteen, as he tries to help him get through his personal and artist issues. Paul Walter Hauser's in the movie as someone who also helps Springsteen, as well as Mark Maron's character. Stephen Graham's in the movie as Springsteen's father, as they show his childhood and also where Graham now is all these years later. And Odessa Young is also in the movie as Faye, the romantic interest for Springsteen during this period of time. The film is 2 hours long and is PG-13. Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new review here at Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Dinnenberg. If you're new, please subscribe and ring that bell for notifications, because I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, out-of-theater reactions, movie franchise rankings, and I break down the box office every single Monday. So please subscribe, ring the bell if you're new. I'm trying to get to 400 subscribers by the end of the year. So please hit that subscribe button. It would really mean a lot to me. Comment down below. What are your thoughts on this movie? First of all, are you a big Bruce Springsteen fan? Is there an introduction to Bruce Springsteen? What did you think about music biopics in general? Where does this rank for you? Love to hear all your thoughts on this movie down in the comments section down below. And also, guys, please hit the thumbs up button. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. I am someone who is now becoming not a fan of, and kind of at times annoyed by, the music biopic genre. It feels like there's like one or two released every year, and a lot of them just fit in the exact same category. And it's really been like that for the last, I would say, 7 years of these music biopics. And so I don't really get excited for these movies anymore, even though I love this ensemble. I believe Scott Cooper is a really good filmmaker. I'm not coming here saying I'm like this biggest Bruce Springsteen fan, but obviously I like a lot of his songs. So it's someone I was going to be able to at least enjoy the music throughout the film. So let's get into my thoughts on Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. So I think, for the most part, that this is a run-of-the-mill, stereotypical music biopic, which means there are some really amazing performances in here. There are some amazing sequences, especially like the behind the scenes of the making of some of these songs. And I'll get into each of these specifically. So Jeremy Allen White is great in this movie. Does he look like Bruce Springsteen? Probably not, but I still think he delivers a really good performance. He is believable as the character, or as the person, excuse me. He does his own singing during the movie, and it's quite impressive that it's Jeremy Allen White singing, not them, just putting in Bruce Springsteen's vocals, which they could have easily done. But I respect, and I think it helps the movie more that Jeremy Allen White did all of his own singing. And he is someone who always does a really good job portraying someone struggling with mental health. He's done that, honestly, throughout his whole career, if it was Shameless or The Bear, or even in the Iron Claw. He always does a good job portraying someone who's struggling mentally. And I think in the second half of the movie, he does a really good job portraying Springsteen's depression during this time. And he's writing all these amazing songs and just life-changing, culture-changing songs. And he also is very good at portraying the everyman, because while Bruce Springsteen is seen as this, God level artist for a lot of people, back in those days, he just walked around, went to diners, walked around New York. He was kind of just the everyman, going to random spots and performing concerts out of the blue. And that's tough for an actor to pull off, because when you're playing someone like Bruce Springsteen, you would think, we need to put someone there so charismatic on that, I guess, not God tier, but you know what I'm talking about. But Jeremy Allen White does a really good job fitting the everyman Bruce Springsteen. I think that's what helps the movie more than hurts it in this case. To me, though, I actually think Jeremy Strong is the strongest performance in this movie, no pun intended, because I think the manager relationship with the artist is by far and away the best part about this movie. The one thing that's not cliche about this movie is that it feels like in every music biopic movie, if we're talking about Straight Outta Compton or even like Bohemian Rhapsody or Elvis, all of those movies also are predicated on the fact of the manager taking advantage of a group or a singular artist. And this movie is a really shows a beautiful relationship between a manager and an artist. Sometimes John Landau does not totally understand the vision that Bruce wants for this album, but believes in Bruce Springsteen, the person, and knows that with his very unconventional way he goes about this album, releasing it, the songs themselves. He, even though it fights all of the stereotypes and fights all of what is normal in the music industry, he believes in Bruce Springsteen. And that dynamic is the best part of the movie. Jeremy Strong is excellent here. It's a very reserved Jeremy Strong performance. I think some people are used to sometimes his performance is going a bit over the top, but I think his more reserved work is always the better one. And he proves why he's one of the more underrated actors working today. He's excellent here, and him and Jeremy Allen White have amazing chemistry. The whole ensemble here, they made really good casting choices. Odessa Young, who plays probably the most cliche character of the entire film, she did stand out though to me, so I think she's someone who I'm so interested to watch moving forward. The movie also is very well made. When we do the childhood scenes with young Bruce Springsteen, and then you have his parents who are played by Stephen Graham and Gabby Hoffman. They go black and white, and I actually thought that elevated the movie a bit more, gave us a different feel than when we were in the present time. I know it's a little minute change, but I think it really elevated the first act of the movie. And I said, performances are good. It's very well made. I think it's paced actually pretty good as well. But as I said, it's a very run by the mill, stereotypical music biopic. And I think this movie becomes a little bit too preachy on the messaging towards the third. Again, I am someone who deals with mental health, and I'm so happy that so many movies these days want to tackle mental health and depression in these movies. And I think this could have been the central focus for the whole movie. But again, this movie's trying to do so many different things. And I think the two key relationships that I think could have made this movie a lot more emotionally satisfying was the romantic relationship with Bruce and Faye and the father-son relationship between Bruce and Douglas. The father-son relationship was so cliche, and I love Stephen Graham. Adolescence is probably one of, if not the best show of 2025. One of the best performances of the year was Stephen Graham in Adolescence. So seeing him get another shot like this was awesome. I just thought it was the dad, the rough childhood, and where the dad has come from learning his lessons. We've kind of been there, done that. Same thing with Odessa Young's Faye Romano in this movie, where she has a kid, but is it good for her to be in a life with someone like this with an artist? The artist's always working on his albums instead of helping out in the relationship. You've just seen this trope done so many times in movies like this, and she also disappears in just big chunks of the movie where you feel like she would be there. I just think the big emotional moments with the dad and the girlfriend in the movie just don't hit because I could write those two parts myself because they're just so stereotypical, so cliche. So many times I've seen them in every music biopic. It becomes very annoying. And I think this movie overall shows a good job of the behind the scenes of the making of the artist. But this movie never takes the next step to be a special, unique music biopic. It kind of just plays it very safe, very by the numbers. And that's why for me, while it has amazing performances, and it's a film that I think is very well made, and it's a film that's very easy to watch, I just think it falls in the same category as so many other music biopics over the last decade. So I'm giving Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, a 3 out of 5 stars. I am going to go 60% for Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. What are your thoughts, guys, on this movie? Let me know down in the comments. Like this video, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys in another video very soon.